Thank you so much for joining, Ritesh, Shiva.
I'm too young for you guys, actually.
The age factor is nothing to do with spirituality. Is it, Kevin?
Yes, I mean, yeah, totally agree. Is very young. I mean, how did he even ask those questions in this age is still baffling me. At 16, I didn't even know what I was doing in my life. That memory itself is like gone.
I think he's kind of a gifted child.
I actually have questions about the subconscious mind, sir. Actually. What the subconscious mind? Why is it? So how can we redefine it and access it? That's the question.
So for us to answer your questions, you have to tell us what do you know about subconscious mind first thing.
I'm actually amateur in this spirituality, so I don't have much.
Our brain is basically divided into two types of mind. Now the conscious mind is everything that we do when we are awake is done by the conscious mind, and our subconscious mind is all the programming and the things that we have learned right from our childhood. I think your parents might have told you when you were a child, do these things or else there is a ghost outside waiting for you. So that will subconsciously get stored in your mind as a fear, and that will manifest in your real life forever. Even that is the only reason why you are afraid of ghosts when you're watching a ghost movie.
Conscious mind is an act of experiencing the physical world. We are awake. When it comes to subconscious mind, I'll just give a simple example. When you're sleeping, when you're asleep, you are semi conscious. It's not like you're completely conscious, you're conscious. But it was when you're sleeping, you are not completely awake, but still your body is functioning and most of your senses and organs are still functioning, but it was like a semi-conscious state. But when you're in a conscious state, your all your bodily senses are interacting with the current physical dimension, or I can say the current material world that you're interacting with. It's simply called as consciousness. When it comes to subconsciousness, just like how Kevin has said, subconsciousness is something which has been stored in our backend, which we are not aware of actively, but it is still there. It is still there that we have to go through that. I mean, it was like an instant. So see, all these experiences from our childhood that are being faced. I mean, we have been experiencing since childhood, that are being stored somewhere behind our subconscious, which is essentially making our personality. If you have a beautiful childhood, if all your environment is quite positive, whatever you see, it was, whatever the parents' upbringing is quite positive. And whenever you grow for like after 10 or 20 years, your personality will be completely positive. You always try to have to this positive thoughts, and you have this healthy mindset, because all those experiences that you have been experiencing consciously, those have been shaping you indirectly in your subconscious, and that decide your behaviors, that decide your responses, that decide your overall personality and character.
Actually, where it is, actually. Is it that subconscious mind within ourselves or it is within the conscious mind or like it's in the universe or something?
There is a software. Can you see the software? No, right? But it is there. It is stored. But you can only see the function of the software. The beautiful UI that you see, all the options, every design, that is your conscious mind. The subconscious mind is all the coding that you cannot see, but is influencing the conscious mind. If you think whatever you see as a face value, whatever the themes that you have in the software, as proof that this is the only thing, you are wrong, because there is coding behind it, right? There is someone who wrote it. There are a lot of things that happened for that code to exist. So, can you say the software exists in PC? Yes, it does. But also, you can make use of the software if it is still in the cloud. Based on this, tell me if you have questions, then we'll untangle this complicated answer.
What does an LLM model mean? Is just basically training a model with specific data. Whatever the data that you train an LLM model, it behaves in that way. So our mind is the same. We are training our mind with our worldly experiences. It could be positive, it could be negative, it could be, neutral, it could be any type of experiences that we face in our active conscious world is kind of a training to our mind. It's like just like how we train an LLM model. So once that LLM model has been trained, that responses will be given in its own way. The LLM model will behave in such a way, the way we train that model. Similarly, our mind is kind of a LLM model. Whatever the experiences that we take in with the medium of all our senses, that will shape our mind over the period of time, and we behave in that way. And that LLM model is called the subconscious mind.
You guys
Okay.
actually believe in God, sir?
See, if you come to the concept of God, believing, and everything, it's actually a paradoxical question, I can say, because believing in God. If you can simply ask me whether you believe in God, I do. But when you question me which God, which religion, then that's where the actual problem starts. Because institutionalized religions always have a rigid understanding and rigid beliefs which always contradict with the other religions, and it always either leads to hatred or a dispute or a conflict. All it's been happening since ages when it comes to believing a god and believing a specific religion. But if you since we have been going through this journey of seeking who I am, what exactly all this is, when you choose that path, you understand that God is much more than religion. It's not just whatever the names or forms of this the cultural aspects that we have for every religion. You'll go a step ahead of that, and you understand that God is beyond all this. So once you understand that level of God, or I can say the eternal consciousness, or eternal supreme power that exists somewhere beyond all this, the human created versions of religion or human created versions of God. So I believe that one. That doesn't mean I'm dismissing everyone, any of these religions or gods. I respect them. I still, I have a great reverence and respect to all these religions and gods. But again, those are very much limited in my perception. So to give you a specific answer, I do believe in God. I do believe in every aspects of God, and I do believe that ultimate thing, we don't know what it is. I mean, in Sanskrit, we call it as Tat. Tat means it, it, and we don't know. It's very mysterious. We don't know about. We can't access. We don't have, as a physical human being, we don't have access to it as long as we are striving for it. So I believe in that specific God, which doesn't have a name or a religion or any type of a definition.
I consider myself to be very fluid and adaptable. Today, I might convince you with hundreds of theories that I believe in God. Tomorrow, again, I'll come up with thousand more theories to tell you how God doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because I'm open minded to possibilities. I
Exactly.
will not take a stand where either I am on either ends of the spectrum, right? So, for me, the concept of God has evolved. But however, most of the things that Shiva said, I agree with it. Like, we don't believe in religious gods because those concepts are very limited. Religious God is man made. We are talking about the God with capital G, right? The religious God is something that we made up, that is on paper. But the God that we are talking about, that is why I use the universe instead of God to tell and talk about this thing. I call it the universe. I don't call it the God. So I believe in the universe. I believe in the God, but not the God that you think. I am talking about something that is beyond everything, not the creator, but something that is, responsible, and that is which which is part of us.
So when I was speaking with my one of my friend very recently, she used to say that she's atheist, and I used to say that I'm agnostic. Agnostic is someone who basically believe in God. I mean, they don't neither believe in God nor disbelieve in God. They don't know. That's it. They just say that they don't. It might exist. It might not exist. But again, there is a little bit more to it, and she called it as atheist agnostic or theist agnostic. Atheist agnostic is somewhere where they are inclined to, they believe that they mostly don't believe in God, but it might exist. And theist agnostic is someone who inclined to believing in God, and they say, or maybe it might not exist. So there are two types of concepts that that I got to know from her. So it's not just theist is someone it's like a outright they don't believe in God.
Let's wait.
Agnostic. Atheist is someone who
Agnostic
doesn't believe in God.
or agnostics.
Yeah. Agnostic is someone who may or may not believe in God. They simply say that I don't know. God may exist or may not exist. It's completely they just leave it like that. They don't have any opinion or judgment in regards to the belief of God. They just say I don't know. They might exist. They might not exist. They just say I don't know. Those are the people are called as agnostic. So now the question is, how about you? What do you think about belief in God?
Comes to my perspective, I actually believe uh, like there is not a God actually. There is an higher human being, not a human being, something greater than us, like from another density or from another dimension within the universe. There is something which created us eventually. Like yeah, organism, this complex cannot be evolved itself over the time actually. This complicated organism with this much of complexity within itself and this much of consciousness and self-awareness can be inside an what to say a living organism by all by itself. Yeah, so we must be created by some kind of, I call them high density beings.
High
Something.
density
Yeah,
beings. That's a
yeah,
great word, actually.
80-year-old trapped inside 16-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. See, I just wanted to add something here. So, when we talk about these higher level entities, or going beyond the worldly religions, it has a very boring uh, space, basically, because there is nothing happening over there. Whatever the discussion that we are having, because most of the time we are explaining something that is in the air, that is mostly empty, because we don't know, we are just discussing something that we, at least we are trying to go to that state where the process is very much one dimensional. It is, there is nothing happening over there. But when it comes to worldly religions, they have festivals, they have gods, they have rituals, they have this gatherings, which is beautiful, which again we can participate, we can cherish, we can create some memories, as long as it is it is becoming the reason for celebration, it is becoming the reason for human relations, if it is empowering the human relations, or whatever it is. On that level, religions, I always have that respect, and even I follow. But somewhere behind, we always know the reality that this is not it. This is just a certain level of understanding. We have to go even further to actually see what exactly that's been governing all this.
yeah. Actually, used to go through the those podcasts with Osho and Sadhguru, right? So I used to watch them. So I came across like they say life is neither meaningful nor meaningless, but it is purposeful actually. We all are born with a purpose. We all have a purpose and we all die with a purpose actually. So, in order to find what's the purpose within ourselves, I dived into these topics. So, then while diving through this, I came across the density topic actually. I previously heard about the dimensions we have, like first dimension, second, fourth, third, and fourth can be the time itself. So while coming through this density thing, the first density is the air, wind, that fire, all earthly elements. Second thing is the plants without the self-awareness or consciousness within themselves, like the plants, animals, etc. And under third density, we guys come. Like not we guys, me myself as an ordinary human being with a self-consciousness, but not enlightened within themselves. And the more higher the density goes, the more high enlightened and the more high, what to say, the more power actually they have. Like they can do things actually. They understand the universe and they can proceed things with the universe. Yeah. Like how do you guys used to meditate? Like how do you seek your inner selves?
How do I
Yeah.
meditate? Okay.
So if I am going to start them tomorrow, what should I do? I myself have. I saw the playlist which you have sent earlier. So should I follow that playlist or do you have any other separate way of doing
Yeah.
things?
Playlist that I shared was for astral projection. I don't think you have to invest a lot of time being 16
Yeah,
for that right now.
astral project, but it takes a lot of practice, right? So we have to focus all our senses into that,
Yes.
and yeah,
So
it takes a lot of
let all
time.
those things. Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, yeah, I was just saying it takes a lot of time and effort.
Yes.
So I'm
So
actually planning to do them by after completing my 12th actually, so I can have a lot of time.
let those things come to you naturally as a byproduct. Okay. When you move to normal waking consciousness to higher states of consciousness, there will be a lot of things that you will experience. Those are direct or indirect consequences of whatever you're doing. Okay. So don't try to force yourself to, for example, astral project or to remote view or to have kundalini experience or to influence something or do black magic or any magic. Those things are, you know, as I said, you cannot force them. But if you are at a state of consciousness where you are able to experience these things, all of the other things will come naturally to you. Only if your basics are right. Because if your basics are not right, if you don't have solid values, if you are not able to, understand the physical world to its depth, you will face a lot of problems, even if those things, even if those spiritual experiences come to you in any way. So, what I would suggest is, since I have a lot of experience doing meditation, and this is coming from someone who faced a lot of difficulties when I started meditating, because I am an extreme extrovert. Okay. And for me, the concept of sitting and meditating even for 5 minutes was like a dream. Okay. And I still remember the day I meditated for 5 minutes. It felt like, if you have seen my previous videos, I spoke about this a lot. It felt like 1,000 people were speaking to me at the same time. I felt very uncomfortable just by sitting for 5 minutes. Okay. So cut to now. If I want to, I can meditate for 15 hours if I want to, but I don't have that privilege of time. I have to go for a job. I have to, you know, focus on other things, like the things that I'm passionate about. But if I have to give you an advice to meditate, it will not be easy. It will be very difficult. It will be uncomfortable, but you have to sit with that. You have to sit with that uncomfortableness. You have to sit with that anxiety in your head telling you to do things, telling you to grab your phone, telling you to go out and play, telling you to do anything that you don't want to. So you have to sit with it. You have to either, in the beginning, focus on your breathing, maybe as an anchor. Consider that as, uh, did you uh, did you watch, was it Christopher Nolan? What movie is that where he
Interstellar.
goes to a dreams? No, no, dream state.
Inception.
Inception. In Inception, did you see that toy? What is it called?
Actually, I don't watch movies. Actually,
You don't watch movies?
yeah, in my whole lifetime, I have just seen 3 to 4 movies. Actually,
Okay.
yeah,
So
it's actually
in
uninteresting to me. Actually, I used to sleep in between movies.
okay. Don't worry, you will not fall asleep when you watch Inception. Trust me, you will wake up instead. So, matlab, I'll tell you the gist of the movie.
You know about the spinning top, right? If
Spinning
he
top. You
roll. Yeah.
have you seen that top?
Yeah, yeah,
Beyblade,
it's
that top, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Movie that
pretty familiar clear in South India. That bumper with that rope we used.
Uh-huh.
yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So in that movie, he goes to multiple states of sleep. Okay. And for him to understand if this is the physical world or this is reality or not, he uses the top as a piece of evidence, I would say. What do you say, Shiva?
It's a
In
proof that you
reality.
are in the reality.
Yes, as a proof. If the top stops, that means he is in the real world. Am I right, Shiva?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
even for you, you have to use your breath as an anchor. If you are properly anchored in your breathing, even if you are lost, this will be like a connected wire that you can always come back. So that is how strong breathing is. Even I can recommend you books also for that. But while doing meditation, I want you to, in the initial phases, what?
Okay.
The book name itself is Breathe by James Nestor.
James.
Nestor, yeah. It'll be in one of my highlights. Don't worry. You'll be able to get it easily. So breathing is very important. If you master breathing, all the other things will become very easy. So I will share a playlist to you. You can also find it on YouTube. It is called Samadhi playlist. That will be easy for you for a beginner because it is a guided meditation. He'll tell you how to sit. He'll tell you what to focus on. He'll tell you what not to focus on. So I recommend you to follow that guided meditation for some time. Then once you are able to do it on your own, then you will be able to see good results. Why am I telling you to first go through the guided meditation is it is like swimming. You can just jump and learn to swim, but if you have someone who can help you, that'll be faster, don't you think? But however, you can explore it on your own. You can just close your eyes and start meditating and see what happens. Or you can just meditate and focus on your breathing or focus on numbers. Anything that works. This is not a one-stop solution that will work for everybody and for you. You have to experiment it. Shiva, any thoughts?
Yes, I think Kevin has covered most
Actually,
of it. Yeah.
actually, what happens when you meditate, sir? Actually, should you focus on your inner self, or you should just focus on your breath, or what should you do?
See, it is
See,
about silencing your mind. Sorry, Shiva. Meditation's only goal is to silence yourself to see and experience the inner world. Since the outer world is the consequence of inner world, you will become whatever you are meant to become. Okay, so that is the only reason why people meditate. Some people can be naturally be very focused. For them, maybe it is not necessary. But for a normal human being, for most of the human beings, for us to be single-mindedly focused on something, we need that as a tool. If you don't have it, maybe see it is like hammer. If you want to put in a nail, you can use hammer, but you can say my hands are strong. Up to you. Okay, it is just a tool. Shiva.
yeah. So meditation, since he mentioned about breathing, right? So breathing is just basically which is used as a beginning stages of your meditation journey. It's not like a breathing is everything, but breathing will help you to focus on yourself, to not distract yourself with all the continuous thoughts that are being happening in your mind. So it's one of the best way to start yourself the journey of meditation. Okay, so we have lots of books and lots of suggestions, since Kevin has already suggested the breathe the book, which is a good start basically. So you can start from there. But what I can say is that you have to go through, you have to try to understand um, many if it is possible for you, if it is okay for you, you have to read lots of books. Even I've read a lots of, lots of, I have a lots of collection in regards to spirituality, most of them. So when you read them, when you try to understand, since you're only in this beginning phase, you are starting it out, try going on that very slowly and steadily. You don't have to rush it out. Try to understand just one concept at a time, one specific practice at a time. Once you have mastered it, then go to the next level. So I can say that you try to understand whatever that the guided meditations have been teaching you. Once you completely got used to it, then you yourself will have your own understanding and your own way of approaching meditation. Okay, we have been doing since many years, so we know exactly what we are doing. We know what type of techniques or what type of meditation patterns work for us. We'll get to know that once you keep on doing it, you will get to know by yourself. I strongly believe that self teaching and you becoming your own self guru is something which I always believe. You can become your own guru, but before that you try to understand all types of aspects that the current authors or whatever the meditation gurus or every spiritual teacher that has been teaching. Try to go through that. It's not like you have to follow one specific method or one specific technique. Try to go through them, try to experiment, practice it, and one day you will understand by yourself everything. So okay, this is what it is, this is how it goes. You don't have to rigidly follow one specific guru or one specific aspect of teaching. That I can say. So start out, just if it is required, you don't even have to close your eyes. Just sit over there and just stare into something blank. Or you can concentrate on one specific focal point. It could be a doorknob, it could be that little specific point on the wall. You can do anything. Once you got that stability or the focus or the concentration, then slowly close your eyes and start meditating by focusing on your breath. And after certain period of time, even you forget that you are breathing. You'll go to different levels of meditation. Even you don't know that you are going to the next level. That will take much some time, but before that, just sit over there completely calm. There will you will get the thoughts, you will get continuous thoughts that are continuously running on. It's like a reel, it's like an Instagram reel that's been going on the top of our head. Just let it be. You don't have to focus on that. It will come, it will go. You just try to observe that and come back to your original state and try to focus on your breath. Keep on doing that, keep on doing that, repeat that. So one day you will forget the breathe as well. You'll just go to that not that emptiness of your mind. It's like a stillness of a water, I can say. Stillness of a pond which has nothing. That absolute stillness is where you're going to. It's the ground for your conscious journey of enlightenment. Okay, so start with complete basics, as how Kevin has suggested. Try to start out with guided meditation first. Try to read the author's meditation techniques or breathing techniques. Try to go through them. Try to have your understanding. Just like I wanted to quote Bruce Lee's quotation. The famous Bruce Lee quotation is that add something. I mean, sorry, I forgot that. Uh, Kevin, do you know about that quotation? That uh, yeah, accept what is useful, reject what is useless, and add something that is uniquely yours. I guess that is what I can vaguely remember that quotation, but yeah. So that's how it is. Try to absorb what is useful for you and make something unique out of yours, and try to define something that is unique for you, which only works for you. It doesn't mean it will work for someone else. It will work for you uniquely after going through all that knowledge and practice. Okay, so yeah, two things: knowledge and practice. These are the two essential things for your meditation journey.
Since you mentioned the term level in this, what do you mean by levels of this? And how long do you guys meditate actually? And at what level you guys currently are?
So initially, just like every other meditator, even I have a very, very bad experiences. I couldn't concentrate at all. I just sat there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I just woke up, and I just got irritated. My mind doesn't accept silence. My mind doesn't accept stability. My mind always got addicted or got used to chaos. My mind needs something to happen every time. How can you tame that? How can you control that agitated mind? It took almost like 6 months for me to at least stabilize whatever the volatile mindset that I have. It took me consistent meditation practice. I used to sit for half an hour in the beginning. Slowly, I just increased that time span to 1 hour, and then and this and if I got time, I could sit for 2 hours initially. And there are times I used to sit for more than 5 to 6 hours. Whenever there is, I got some more time, I can take a day off, and I used to sit, to longer period of hours. I get just lost I mean, I don't know what's been happening. I just, got completely lost in my meditation. I don't know what's happening. I even forgot my physical self as well. I go to that complete eternal nothingness. What's happening, I don't know. But one important point that Kevin has said: you will never know which level of meditation or which level of consciousness that you are in. As per the chakras that Kevin has mentioned, that Kundalini, that seven chakras that we have: Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agna, Sahasra.
Are those
Muladhara is
chakras
the beginning level. Yeah, sorry.
real? Do you believe in?
I cannot say that. As long as you experience it by yourself, it will exist in theory. I mean, there are
Sorry
people,
to
there are,
interrupt. You should not believe anybody. Okay, we are just telling you our experience. Nobody. If you ask me, how do I feel when I meditate? I can only give you words, but will you be able to experience it? No. Until you are able to do it on your own, you will have those similar or maybe much more or maybe lower.
there are lots of fancy words in spirituality. When I've said all these chakras, Kundalini, energy awakening, it's all in theory, it's all conceptual. But as long as you're practicing it and you experiencing it on your own, then you will get to know. Even I don't know which stage of awakening state that I am in right now. It takes lots of time to understand. There are indications that they say that if you are in the state of Manipura, if you are in the state of Anahata, you will be having some signs or indications. But I didn't get that as well, which means I haven't got awakened to that state. But still, I'm on that journey still. But it requires consistent practice, consistent meditation practice. I'm not trying to say that these days the people have this stigma. They have this stereotypical understanding that meditation is something where people just sit there and close it. It's not that. You have to experience it. It will become, but it takes lots of time. Maybe some people gift, some gifted people like you may instantly get that access to higher levels. Who knows that? Even we don't know. It's some people have that instant. The I just wanted to mention our famous spiritual guru, who's Adi Shankaracharya, who's just who died in the age of 32. But imagine his life story is commendable, because the level of achievement that he has in terms of uh, you know uh, spiritual achievement that he has done, the level of understanding that he has, the books that he have written is unimaginable. He has given us almost a status of god. He was believed to be a kind of a god's incarnation kind of thing. So I can say that we don't know. Maybe if you have done a couple of meditation practices just for a couple of days, maybe you will get that instant understanding about that higher levels. But you have to try it out. Just try taking 1 hour in a day, try to practice, just sit down silently, and you will get to know more and more. So just like what I've said, I've read something about chakras, kundalini, energy awakening, and everything. It looks fascinating. It looks interesting. It sounds interesting, but still, it was just conceptual. If you wanted to experience that in your real time, go sit there, practice, and maybe if you're lucky enough, you'll get that experiences as well. And there are many, many, many concepts, just like what we have discussed about uh, what we say, uh, the Kevin's reel that we have, uh, astral projection. Sorry, yeah, that was entirely different concept. It was when you keep on meditating continuously, if you have that mastery level of meditation, maybe you will get just by your own command, you will get to that. But beginning level, we need to, at least somewhere we have to start it out, and then yeah, maybe in the future definitely we can go through that as well. And I like the way that he's noting down every point that we're explaining, which is good.
Yeah.
I actually just wrote notes, so I don't actually forget any of the points
Yeah.
you guys said.
Great,
I mean, with the
great, great,
recording,
great.
Gemini is also taking notes, so I'll
Yeah,
see when you
Yeah.
keep editing.
that was, yeah. You guys have actually the freedom, right? So why don't you pack up your bags and go somewhere for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, and actually find yourselves get enlightened with it.
Yes. Why do you think somebody, if they pack their bags and if they go somewhere, they'll be able to get enlightened?
A place where eternal world or the just external things won't affect you actually. Just throw away your phones or just disconnect entirely from your
Yeah,
world.
you can do that, but don't you want to honor the experience that you are having right now? Don't you want to
Yeah, we can
experience the
come back, right? We are not actually going there and living there actually. After 3 or 6 months, you can actually come back here and share your experience as a documentary or a blog or something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
can do that. See, you can do anything. That is the problem, right? You can do anything, but you have very limited amount of time. And you don't have to think you will get enlightened if you go to the top of the mountains only. If you want to, you can stay where you are and get enlightened. So that is a fancy way of showing, go to the mountains, become a Buddhist, cut your hair, then you will become enlightened. Not necessarily. You living in your whatever experience that you are in, you can still experience enlightened states. And enlightenment, according to me, it's not a black and white concept. Maybe according to the world, how it is portrayed is like you get to a stage where you are enlightened and you are God. No. Enlightenment is a spectrum. It's like awareness. How aware are you? You can become aware of the universe just right now if you want to, right? So it has like the knob. Okay, and the knob goes to infinity, so it'll go on forever. Yeah, you can choose to go on a mountain, leave everything, and get enlightened maybe sooner, but that is not guaranteed. You can stay at home. Maybe in a year you might get enlightened, but if you go to mountains, maybe it will take more than 50 years or maybe not possible.
I remember one thing when me and Kevin were having similar discussion a couple of years ago. We had the same discussion that why don't we, go to some place which is spiritually significant so that we can have some good spiritual practices and experiences over there. So he actually, he told something, he quoted something which I can still remember until this date. But he said that wherever you go, there you are. Isn't that right, Kevin? I think it's a Buddhist quote, I guess.
Yeah, because you are taking yourself there, right? So it is like, where are you even going?
Yeah. So when you go to the forest will give that comfort of silence and serene peace. But that belongs to the forest, right? It doesn't belong to you. When you wanted to become a forest, when you have to become, peaceful and silent and serene by yourself, by having that, you have to reach that level. Forest as an entity has its nature, but has its qualities of silence and peace. So why don't we cultivate that by sitting at our home? And I understand definitely when you go to such places or top of the mountain or forest or any isolated places, we have the privilege of silence. We can escape from the chaos of this material world, but it only exists as long as we exist in that place, as long as we are staying in that place. Once we come back, it's again the same story, right? So what if we can create that environment in our mind by constant practice? Is what Kevin is saying. Wherever you go, you should have that mental ability to create that environment of top of the mountain environment in your mind. Yes.
Then last and final question, like, what do you guys think about the reality, actually, the physical world, actually?
Been shooting questions like AK-47. I'm actually getting bowled by every delivery. Can say. See, reality is essential because that's how we're experiencing everything. That's how we are learning everything, right? So we are talking about. I mean, your question is regarding the reality, right? So, as just like I said, reality is the only way that we can practice things. Is the only way that we can go to, to learn something, to experience something. Human experiences are all based upon the current reality. I'm not saying the reality as the ultimate. At least for human experiences, this reality is important. But we know somewhere underneath that this is not everything. There is something else. As long as we are experiencing this world with this human body, reality still exists. But something that we don't know what exactly exists beyond this, physical dimension. That
Yeah.
curiosity, that interest, that will be there always. But in order to go to that level, again, we need this physical body and we need this physical reality to learn to go beyond that physical dimension. So reality is ultimately, the only way to experience the beauty of this world. And once that is done, now our soul will automatically, realizes that we are just like a partial, we have this famous quotation that we are not humans. We are not humans experiencing the universe. We are the universe experiencing as a humans, right? So we just came here for a brief amount of time to experience all this beautiful physical world. But somewhere our soul knows that we don't belong here. We belong to somewhere else. That striving will come naturally to us if you are lucky enough. But for some people, just like the Matrix, they just get settled in that Matrix world and they just leave. You are that Neo in the Matrix who's trying
Did you
to
watch that
understand.
movie, Matrix?
I didn't actually.
You didn't, right? So that is
Yeah.
your work. If you want
Okay.
Yes,
episode 2
yes,
with us, trust me, there are a lot more things. If you are interested in that, we are ready to, share. But watch these movies, Inception, watch Matrix. Do you have anything in mind, Shiva?
yes, absolutely. So you don't have, there are three parts of Matrix, but one is enough. The first part is good enough to, understand what we are saying. And Inception is one more, one of the crazy concepts that Christopher Nolan has ever created. It was absolutely amazing. You just try to watch these movies, and whatever the discussion that we have will make sense.
Then you'll have much more interesting questions. Now you have the basic ones, the
Yeah,
not so interesting ones.
yeah,
But when you watch those movies, you will be able to relate and you'll be able to ask more deeper questions.
Yes.
exactly. So,
That's
do you are you actually meditating? Have you already started meditating, or you are actually planning to do that?
actually, yeah, I'm actually planning to do that. So I already asked Kevin about that. So he sent some playlist.
Right.
So and he on top of that he has now suggested some other things to do meditation. So yeah,
Just try to, just sit for
should
15
start.
minutes initially. Just for 15 minutes,
Is
not more
running.
than that.
Okay,
So
at last, actually, did you guys have ever astral projected yourself?
I haven't, to be honest. I didn't had it yet. I think Kevin, he's even much more advanced in that topic, so I think he's the right one to answer.
I did before even getting to know about this playlist. I did many times, but I did not know the concept. That is the beauty of having higher states of consciousness. You will normally, like, for example, I'm talking to you, right? Suddenly, I will feel like I am not the person who is having this conversation. Suddenly, I'll feel zoomed out and I see somebody in this body having this experience of having this conversation. It'll be automatic. You'll not be able to digest it when it happens. You'll get chills. You will freak out. So, I've been trying to understand it. So yeah, anybody can. It is not something like reserved for special people. If you are aware, how aware are you depends on what kind of experiences you'll have. If you are too aware about your body, about your surroundings, about the universe, you will be astral projecting like on a daily basis, every day. It will be your normal state of mind. You will not feel like a physical body. You will feel a part and parcel of the universe. You will feel like an entire universe. So it's very weird. It's complicated. That is why we have reserved these big questions and deeper conversations for the next podcast whenever we guys are free. But yeah, these are not reserved for special people. Anybody can have them, anybody can experience them.
Yeah, see, when it comes to astral projection, we have a separate movie for that, which is Doctor Strange. We can go through that when we actually try to, get into that full time understanding and practicing on that astral projections, because Doctor Strange is one of that, apt movie, I can say, which has these concepts of astral projection, how the soul can leave this body temporarily to, experience that astral world. So we'll get into that. That is way more advanced, which is not necessary for you right now. Right now, just just like on an elementary level of understanding. So better try to stick to the basics for now.
Is in LKG.
LKG, yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Experience. That means you have to do practice and you have to know theory. Two things, if you take care, automatically it will make sense. You don't need anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after some period of time, you will connect the dots by
yeah,
yourself.
Write down experience plus knowledge.
Thank you so much, and definitely we'll have one more conversation. In the meanwhile, like we have suggested, three things. One is the books that Kevin has suggested, and the
yeah,
practice, the basic practice that you can do at your home for a very brief moment of time, and then you can increase that, that time the time period. And the third thing is, if you can, if it is possible for you, try to watch those two movies, The Matrix and The Inception.